everyone. So I'm going to be doing the contextualized portion of the roundtable this week for our article about language socialization and the dual earner families. Sorry, I slurred on that one. So the first portion is describe the study background, provide the necessary information and context for a thoughtful and critical evaluation of the article's significance, describe the rationale for and relevance of the study question, and highlight the prior research that led to the current study. So POG focuses on past work throughout, and it seems like she's presenting almost kind of like a lit review of her findings and everyone else's findings, such as Galinsky, Orks, and Schatzlin, however you pronounce that name. But focusing on the UCLA Center of Everyday Lives, where she actually examined the social interactions of, believe 16 middle-class families of 32 recorded videos. So the background to this would be that through other people's research, they found that language shapes children, as we would all imagine, and talking about work at dinner time at the table also changes their perception of how work is reflected and how they will view their work possibly in the future. And then it also goes into a little bit more of Galinsky's view of work in general and how we perpetuate on how talking to children, how it might affect their development and their ideas of work. Let's see here. But for the most part, it's circulating all around that idea. The relevance of the study question. So at the beginning of her paper, it's not really a question, more of just a statement of what she was going to do, as a lot of articles seem to have, rather than an actual question. This study integrates the lives of children more fully into the discussion on work and family through a language socialization approach, with a particular focus on what and how children are learning about work in the middle-class dual-earner American families. They go over the language socialization theory. They analyze the 32 videos across the 16 families in Los Angeles and illuminate how children are socialized to understand and talk about work long before they are working themselves, and looking at these observations. The prior research that led to this current study, she grasped a lot from other scholars. At the end, you can see, I think it's like couple pages. Yeah, it's about 3 pages of citing others' work. Her main focuses are Orks. I've been calling him Orks, or her, or Orks, but OCHS, whoever that person is. And then this person, they focus on language development, socialization, and cultural theories. And then we also have Schifflin, who also focuses on language socialization and has a pretty big track record, along with Orks, whatever his name is, about language. They seem to team up pretty frequently. For the most part, there's a lot of references that she used in making this article, which in the end, it's a very thoroughly done article, which kind of goes into the next portion of the Contextualize, which is consider the papers referenced in this study, as well as previous work by the study's author. So throughout, it kind of shows what Hogg has done in the past. It kind of focuses on how she also wants to learn more about the language socialization and working class families, and trying to see how that affects them as they mature and how they view work in the future. Let's see here. that they plan to work to look into how work is influenced in discussion, and then in a way, kind of, Pog really just pulled all together a lot of her references to create this paper. Although she put in her research, which was granted and funded by UCLA's family, where is it? UCLA Center for Everyday Lives of Families. They granted her money to do this research where she set up recordings in 16 middle-class families, and there were 32 recorded videos that she could go over and look into how they went into work at the dinner table. But I think it's a really well done article. It's interesting. I think a lot of this stuff, while though slightly straightforward, it's nice to see that there are examples and people actually looking into this stuff, which is, I guess, scholarly in the end. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.